Hey everyone, welcome to the talk on Harvest Hosts. My name is Alyssa Javati. I am the Senior Brand Partnerships Manager here at Harvest Hosts, and I'm joined with my two colleagues, Shannon and Carrie. I'd like to turn it over for them to introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the discussion.
Hi, I'm Carrie Price. I'm the Director of Brand Marketing here at Harvest House.
Hey there, and I'm Shannon, the lead product manager over all of our website and mobile app.
Awesome. We're going to take some time to go through how our product works, how to find great locations, and how to make the most of Harvest Hosts. And if you don't already have Harvest Hosts, hopefully by the end you will be convinced to join. So, jumping right on in, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie, and she's going to tell us what Harvest Host is for all that don't know.
Yeah, so Harvest Host is a platform where you can find local businesses that you can park your RV overnight. Uh, no camping fees. So that's places like breweries, wineries, farms, attractions, museums, drive-in theaters, mini cow farms, alpaca farms. I mean, all sorts of different types of locations and local businesses. So you can park there, enjoy the experience, which would be something different than staying in, say, a parking lot or a Walmart parking lot or something like that. And all we ask is that you patron the business. So we recommend about spending about $30 at each location, but that varies depending upon what they offer.
Awesome. And then, what kind of RV do you have to have at Harvest Host? Like, can you take a van? Can you take pop ups? What are the requirements?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the only thing that we ask is that your RV be fully self-contained. We allow all types of RVs, including pop-ups and converted vans. We ask that you be able to contain your gray water and have a place for your black water. So just fully self-contained within your rig. We also ask that while you're at a Harvest Host location, unless you are allowed to, if you have an outside kitchen, you don't use your outside kitchen, but that'll depend on the host location.
Cool. And is there an age limit? I know some places
Yeah.
have age limits and restrictions.
No, that's the great part about Harvest Host. We don't care how old your rig is. There's some beautiful, older Airstreams out there, and I do know a lot of the campgrounds have restrictions on age limits, so we do not restrict that.
Awesome. And then what are the benefits of Harvest Host outside of staying at these really amazing locations and meeting great people?
Yeah, we have some great member benefits to companies like Goodyear, Jackery, Thousand Trails. So you can take advantage of those types of benefits. There's over $2,000 worth of benefits you can take advantage of on a yearly basis. I think one of the best benefits though is having these unique experiences, being able to take maybe the off beaten path and take your family on a really cool adventure where you get to feed alpacas, or I've been to one where I got to feed a baby calf. And these are memories that stick with me. So I feel like the memories is one of the best benefits.
Awesome. So the way that it sounds is like there's a lot of locations. Are they everywhere? What kind of hosts are there? I guess we could turn it over to Shannon to kind of show us more, maybe what the map looks like and what kind of locations you could expect at Harvest Host.
Sure, I'd love to walk you through a little bit about the website and how you find host location and all the different and amazing hosts that we have. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. So as Carrie and Alyssa were saying, we have all kinds of amazing and interesting hosts. We have a whole array of them, from more well-known types like wineries and breweries to local homesteads and small farms. Uh, we also have really interesting and unique attractions like drive-ins and adventure parks and even a few ski resorts here and there. So just to walk you through kind of what that looks like, here we're looking at once you've signed in, you become a member and you've signed in, we're looking at our way to discover those host locations. So here we're looking at the Portland area in Oregon, and you can see all of the different various pins that we have for all of the different interesting host locations. So
So what
to
are
get
these little,
started, so
sorry, what do
oh,
these
go
little
ahead.
pins mean? Like, how do you know what kind of host it is?
Sure. So each pin indicates a different host type. These red wine glasses, these are wineries. We've got tractors. These purple pins, tractors for farms. We've got golf courses, breweries, and then we have this little museum for our attractions, and then this other program called Boondockers Welcome, which we will get to as well.
So this account is an all access account, correct? So I see there's golf courses, I see there's Boondockers Welcome. Um, Carrie, could you walk us through what kind of plans there are and what it means to be part of these plans?
Sure. Yeah. We have the Harvest Host Classic plan that offers 5,000 host locations. So that would be everything on this map except for the golf courses and the Boondockers Welcome locations. And then we do have the combo plan, which would include Harvest Host locations, so the 5,000 locations plus Boondockers Welcome. Boondockers Welcome is 3,500 locations. So Boondockers Welcome is where you can stay at private property. You can stay typically up to 5 nights, and about 75% offer electric hookups. It's a really good way to get to know other RVers, and most of these host locations, Boondockers Welcome locations, are fellow RVers, used to RV, can no longer RV, but want to have RVers come stay at their house, or just genuinely great people who want to host RVers. The experiences you can have there range anywhere from here's your place to park, have a good time, let me know if you need anything, to having dinners with them or enjoying a beverage on their porch. It's a really great way to get to meet people. So the combo plan includes both of those. So that's over 8,500 locations. And then all access is our biggest plan. That's about 9,000 locations. That includes Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Host, and golf. So that's those golf course pens that you're seeing. Golf courses are really neat because you don't have to play golf in order to stay at them. You can enjoy their spa, have a nice dinner at their clubhouse. Most of the golf courses have really nice clubhouses, and I just think it would be a really peaceful way to wake up to a beautiful golf course, even if you don't enjoy golfing. So those are our 3 plans.
Awesome. Cool. Shannon, I am getting a little bit of FOMO looking at this farm, I guess, by the beach over here. Can you show us how we might request to stay there and potentially request to stay for me?
Sure, absolutely. So this farm over here on the coast is actually one of our really popular locations. This is Blue Heron French Cheese Company. They're an incredible host. And so say you're Alyssa, you want to go near the water, you're looking for a place. Or you're just looking to explore an area. All you have to do is click on any one of these pins, and it will show you a preview of that host location, how large of a rig they can accommodate, and any sort of badges or call outs that are important about that host for you to know, like fast responding, or whether they offer hookups or extra nights. So in this particular case, if I was interested in staying by the water, I wanted to learn more about Blue Heron Cheese Company. All I have to do is click on that little preview card, and I'll be shown a profile all about that host location. It will tell me their reviews, how long they've been hosting. It'll give me a whole description and when they're open, as well as all the amazing things that they offer for you. I can look through all of their great photos. I can just kind of browse and check those out. Or if I'm really interested in like where to park or what they offer for food, I can filter by those in their pictures and see what's the parking setup going to look like, or what's their food and in drink situation going to look like. So from there, I think this Blue Heron French cheese company looks great. I think I'd really like to stay there. And now I want to find whether they have availability when I'm looking to stay. So all I have to do is click check availability, and I can see that they're pretty wide open. They have plenty of availability. So I select the dates that I'm looking to stay. Say I want to stay from the 14th to the 15th. I choose those dates. And then it's as simple as letting this host know, hey, here's the rig that I'm driving. Any additional comments you want to let them know when you're going to be there, if you're traveling with pets or kids or anything to that effect, and then you submit that stay request. I won't do that at the moment because of the real host, and I don't want them to get a stay request for me. But once you've submitted that stay request, then you wait for the host to respond. Once that host responds to you with an approval, then you're all good to go, and you can chat with the host from there.
So I see that it says you have to let them know within 24 hours. That makes sense because it's a business and they're expecting
Mhm.
you. What happens if your plans change? Is there like a messaging system or is there a way to contact the host?
Yep. So if your plans change, you submit a stay request, it's approved, you run into some trouble on the road, something like that, just make sure to communicate with the hosts. Our hosts work really hard to accommodate all of their guests. And, like meeting up with a friend, you want to make sure that you're staying in communication so they're not left waiting for you, and you don't show up or something to that effect. So just let them know that your plans have changed, when you might expect to be there. Through our messaging system, you can send a message back and forth, and you'll also get access to their phone number. So just make sure to keep them updated on what you're doing.
Awesome. And I heard mention of extra nights. That's something that was just released. Um, can we look at a location that is a Harvest Host location where you stay at a small business where you might be able to stay extra nights and what that might look like and how to make a reservation like that?
Sure, absolutely. So let me find a host that offers extra nights. This winery up here in La Center, Washington, it looks like they offer extra nights. I clicked on their pin, and I see that they offer extra nights and electric hookups. So you can click around at each one of these host locations and kind of get a general sense of who offers extra nights. But the other way that you can do that is by using this filter on the map, and saying, "Hey, I'm looking for hosts that offer extra nights," and I can see that this particular host does offer extra nights. So I can then click into their profile, and I can see the more information about this host and what the conditions of their extra nights are. So as I look through this, I can see that I can stay up to one extra night. So there's the one night you get with your membership, and then there's the extra night that you can pay, in this case, $30 for that extra night. Every host is a little bit different. Some will offer you that extra night for free. Hey, stay as long as you'd like. We'd love to have you. And some will charge per night for that space. Similarly, to request a stay with them, you can check your availability. You want to stay that one night on the 14th to the 15th. Um, then after you've selected that date, what you want to do is let the host know, "Hey, I'm interested in staying that extra night with you, if that's okay with you." The way that extra nights work is that you want to you need to ask the host. It's at their discretion. Those are not always available. Their availability may change, so you need to request specifically that you're looking for that extra night, and then it's up to the host to determine whether they have availability or not.
And so do all these fees go directly to the host or does it go to Harvest Host or what happens?
All of these fees go directly to the host. We do not take a cut of any of these transactions. So any of the money you spend with the host keeps 100% of it.
Awesome. Cool. So I think the thing that I'm most interested in now is looking at other types of cool locations and kind of seeing what experiences you can have on Harvest Host.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm going to remove my little filter here just to show you a little bit more of the kinds of host locations that we that we offer. As Carrie outlined, we have all of these really interesting host locations, and we have a few different plans. So let me show you kind of an example of a few of those other host types. So say you're interested, you're a big wine drinker, or you really like picturesque scenery, like quiet things, you want to stay in a more interesting landscape. We have some incredible vineyards all throughout the US. And these are some of our more popular host locations for obvious reasons. If you see how picturesque they are. We also have that's another winery. We also have, like as Carrie mentioned, golf courses, which also tend to be very quiet and beautiful and picturesque locations. There's lots of open space, and as you can see, they tend to have beautiful sunrises and sunsets.
For the golf
So
courses, sorry. For the
sure,
golf
go ahead.
courses, I know Carrie mentioned that you don't have to golf, but is there another way to support the hosts?
Sure, absolutely. Golf courses usually have restaurants and spas and clubhouses and all that kind of stuff where you can spend your money if playing around of golf is not for you.
Awesome. Playing a round of golf is not for me, but country clubs are.
So those are an example of our beautiful golf courses. We also have some incredible hosts, as Carrie was saying, as part of our Boondockers Welcome program. As a reminder, these Boondockers Welcome hosts, these are not necessarily small businesses like our Harvest Host program. These are people among the RV community who maybe want to pay it forward and want to host others in the community. It's all about that more of a human connection and meeting people in the RV community. So we have these beautiful locations that vary from big swaths of land, as Carrie was saying, you can stay on, or people's homes, and you can see how incredibly popular some of these hosts are just by some of the uh, the reviews that they have, as well as this host rewards tier that they're among. We have different tiers of host rewards for Boondockers Welcome, and you can see how popular some of those hosts are. We have what are called Hall of Fame hosts. Let me see if I've got one of those handy. Maybe not, but you can see some hosts with hundreds and hundreds of stays. These are all, once again, people in the private community, and they will host almost anyone who wants to come visit. So they're all great people among the community. In terms of other interesting host locations that we offer, like I said before, there's drive-ins and museums and all that kind of stuff. So plenty of other really interesting locations to stay at.
So for these Boondockers Welcome hosts, the community hosts, what's the incentive for them? You're not supporting their small business, obviously. Carrie, you might have some input on that, but what would be driving them to be part of this program?
I think for a lot of them, it's that pay it forward or pay it back sort of mentality. They're RVers themselves. They have stayed at host locations before. So they, just want to give back to the community. I think for others, it's their way of connection to the outside world. One of my favorite stories is a host who told us that he lives on top of a hill. He lives a kind of a remote life, and his wife was pretty ill, and so he didn't get out much. And having Boondockers Welcome hosts or Boondockers Welcome guests come to stay at his house was like his social interaction. And so it meant a lot to him. I feel that way for a lot of people. They really are doing it for that community aspect. They love having people over to their house. If you ever met those people that just are always the hosts of the party, these are those types of people. They just want people to come to them and help and visit them and share stories. RVers love to share stories of where they've gone and trade those stories. So I think it just takes those special people who also connect very well with our RVers. There was a host location I visited in Alaska, and we went on an ATV ride around their property to go get ice cream around the corner. And they told me they did it because obviously they're in Alaska, they don't get a ton of visitors, but it was their way of connecting with RVers who are in the lower 48. And the way for them to show their Alaska home and talk to them about the things that are different in that area. There is a host in Texarkana, and they have you over for dinner, and it is their way, and they're retired, so it is their way for entertaining, and they just have always entertained, and they love the idea of having RVers come because they used to be RVers. You also do get a free Boondockers Welcome guest membership with as being a host, as well as Shannon mentioned some of that, the reward status. So there's different reward statuses, so you get different things. Maybe mainly it's a t-shirt or a hat, or if you're Hall of Fame, you get this really cool wooden sign that says Hall of Fame host. But no host would say that they do it for that reason. They're doing it purely out of the kindness of their hearts.
I know on my last trip, I went to a bunch of Harvest Host locations and I really wanted to support all the Harvest Host businesses, but I was in a small van. And so what I would do is I would like stack Harvest Host to Boondockers Welcome and then take the gifts from the Harvest Host and give them away to the Boondockers Welcome host. And it was very impactful and I had great conversations about it. And I felt good because I was introducing the Boondockers Welcome host to a business that was close to them. So it was a really cool, like, circular relationship.
Yeah, I mean, these hosts aren't asking for anything. They typically love a thank you. A lot of times, RVers will travel with thank you cards or little gift cards, maybe like Starbucks gift cards, just $10 to give as a thank you to their host. But most of them don't, require any gifts or money. And the only thing that we ask is that if you use their electric or any of their hookups, that you compensate them for that use. We're not looking for our host, Boondockers Welcome host, to be out of pocket on anything. But I've heard a lot of guests who do that, who travel to, especially full timers who don't have a lot of room in their RV, but they want to support the business for Harvest Hosts. So they support the business, and then they go to a Boondockers Welcome host and give it as a gift, if it's a fruit basket or wine or a pack of socks or something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of times I get questions about every time we go to an event, someone's like, "Do you have hosts in Cincinnati? Do you have hosts in Chicago? Do you have hosts in North Carolina?" So Shannon, could you show us kind of what the map looks like as like a larger image and, kind of give an idea if we do have hosts in Cincinnati, Chicago, and North Carolina?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing because you get super zoomed in and it looks a little sparse in that area, but as you'll see, and this will populate shortly, but this is how many host locations we have. It takes a little time for it to populate.
So we have so many host locations, it takes a little bit for it to
Yeah.
populate. Obviously, looking at it from this zoom level, you're not going to be able to find a specific host that you're looking for, but it really just indicates how many host locations there are. As Carrie said, we have over 9,000 across all of our plans combined. So there's a host nearly everywhere you want to be.
And so, what if you are looking at the map, you find something that's really cool, and you want to save it for later? Is that an option? Like, say you saw a drive-in that you really want to hit, but it's in Nevada and you're not going to be there until like the summertime. Is there a way to like bookmark that or?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to favorite a host for later, you want to save a host for later, there's a couple different ways you can do that. You can click on the heart on the little host preview card, or you can click into their profile as you're viewing it. Maybe you're like, this is one I want to save for a trip for later. You can click the heart on their profile. You can also save it to a trip. So if you're planning a trip to the Pacific Northwest, you can save all those hosts to a trip for the Pacific Northwest and come back to them later. You can create a trip and add it to that trip and come back to it.
So where do you find those trips?
Sure. So to find those trips and those saved hosts, all you have to do is go to saved up here in the navigation, and you can see any of those ones that you favorited here, and you can also see the trips that you've created in the trips tab.
Awesome. And then is there a way to see, say you went on a road trip recently and you went to a lot of really great host locations and you're trying to remember what the name of one was and because you're talking to someone else, is there a way to find your past stays so you can go back
A-
again or tell someone else?
Absolutely. So if you're looking for more details on the stays that you have either outstanding, you're waiting for a response from the host, or you've got something upcoming, all you have to do is go to your stays and you can see all of your stay requests there, whether they're pending, approved, whether they're in the past, etc. You can view all the details if you need the host phone number to give them a call or need to send them a message, whether they approved your extra night request, any of that kind of stuff is available here in the stay details.
Awesome. And then do you have a I guess you have a profile, obviously. It kind of looks like Airbnb in the situation where you would have, I see your little picture in the corner. Like, how do you change that or update it?
Sure. So in order to update your travel profile, all you have to do is go to the top right and click on travel profile. This travel profile is a little bit, as Alyssa was saying, about you, and this helps hosts get to know a little bit more about you before they accept your stay request. It helps to know a little bit about your rig and what it looks like, so that they can choose whether they can or determine whether they can accommodate you or not.
Awesome. And then my last question, I think it's probably not my last question, but if I have only Harvest Host Classic, so I only have the small businesses, I don't have the golf courses, and I don't have Boondockers Welcome, how do I add those if it's something I'm interested in?
Sure. So if you've gone through our sign up process, you've selected Harvest Host, you want to add Boondockers Welcome or some of our other plans in the future as you become a little bit more experienced. All you have to do is go to your membership information where you can see your membership card and what you have access to, and you can change your plan at any time. You can upgrade to a new plan that fits your needs. I have all access on my account, so I get access to all of our host locations. But if you are on Harvest Host, then you can choose one of the other plans that work for you.
And these are the prices you pay for 365 or like January to December or like
Correct. It is 365, so it is from the time that you signed up to a year later.
awesome. Cool. Well, I think that's all the questions I had. Does anyone have any other call outs?
Shannon, can you show us what it's like to plan a route?
Ooh.
That's one of my
Sure.
favorite features. I
Sure.
really love being able to put point A and point B and then saying, within 10 to 20 miles of that route, find me a Harvest Host location.
Oh,
Sure. So I'm gonna do this totally off the cuff. I'm gonna go from Los Angeles to Seattle. I'm gonna go up the West Coast. Um, and it'll take a little bit because this is a long trip, but it will populate all the hosts within a certain radius of that route. And then from there, I can narrow that down. If I only want to go within, maybe 15 miles or so, then it will narrow that down to along that route, and then I can click into each one of these and find hosts that work for me along that route.
and is there a way to show, say I'm driving a huge Class A, is there a way to like show which locations will accommodate me?
Absolutely. Using our filters up here, you can filter by rig length. So if you are a big class A, you up to 45 feet or even over 45 feet, you can filter by those types of host locations. So it looks like there's a decent amount of them along your route. And then you can, as we talked about earlier, filter by things you may need like hookups, extra nights. If you're in a bit of a bind and you're looking for a place to stay on short notice, you can filter by same day bookings. So you can say, I need a place basically today. Which hosts will look at my stay request basically immediately. So you can filter by that. And there's more stuff available as well. Like you've got a pet with you. You really want to make sure the host allows dogs. You can filter by pets allowed or any of those other things. And then just for good measure, if you are along the way, you've probably seen some of these other icons and you need a dump station. We also have information on any one of the dump stations that are available around the US. Basically, you can click on one of them and see whether any of these are available and open and functioning to stop by along the way.
So you're telling me we don't have poop emoji host locations?
Those are dump stations, yes.
And how do you turn those on and off?
All you have to do is go to the map layers over here and turn off dump stations if you don't want to see them. And then, we offer some other map layers as well if you want to know more about cell coverage or temperature, like is it going to be really hot when I'm there, that kind of stuff. Or if you want to see, a satellite view of a host location and generally what it looks like, you can enable any of those things too.
That cell coverage is so great. When I was traveling, I had to like take the Verizon map and just like pinpoint where I was going to be. Now I can tell that if I'm at this host location, I will have Verizon cell signal.
Perfect. So there's a beautiful winery. They accommodate huge rigs. They accommodate extra nights. They have cell service. Perfect.
Dream come true.
Dream come true.
Now, what if you are in a situation where you don't really know where you are? Are you able to like get the map to show where you are and what might be near you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to clear my route here, and then I can show you. If you click this arrow, all you have to do is click that, and it'll say, "Hey, you are right here in." I'm joining you from Denver, Colorado,
No, we all
and
know
it
where you are.
will and it will show you exactly where you are, and you can look for hosts near you.
Awesome. And there are a lot of hosts that do accept same day and we've just added response times, right?
Correct. Yep. So if you look at a host's profile, you can find hosts that are fast responding, like this host in, say, if you were in Poncha Springs, Colorado, which is a beautiful location. You can see that this host is fast responding. Hey, I need someone to respond to me quickly. I'm on the road and I need a place to stay. Vino Salida can respond to you quickly.
Awesome.
We also added electric hookups. So now, I noticed I felt weird not saying it's for boondocking because that is no longer the case. Harvest Host is not just for boondocking. You can now stay more than one night depending upon the host location, and you can have electric depending upon the host location as well. So during these hot summer months, it's nice to have, even just 15 amp.
Yeah. Get the fan going at the very least.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think we have a couple more minutes here. I wanted to talk about if you're not a member of Harvest Host, what that sign up flow looks like. If you go to harvesthost.com, can you look at locations ahead of time and just what that experience is?
Absolutely. If you're not a member and you're on the fence, you want to do a little bit more discovery before you join. All you have to do is go to the Harvest Host site, and you can learn all about the program from the site. We walk you through how the program works, what plans are available to you, the price of them, and all of that. And if that isn't convincing enough, and you want to look at host locations before you join, all you have to do is search for something in the search bar. Or you can go to the Discover page, and then you can browse all of the host locations that we have available. Some of the information we keep behind the membership, but you're able to learn about these host locations, where they're located, what they offer, all the amenities that they have. You can see pictures of them, etc. And then once you're ready to join, you can go through our process of joining. So that just means creating an account and then paying for the membership.
Awesome. So I think then that leads me to my last question. If we go to the Harvest Host homepage, harvesthost.com, I saw some other products at the bottom. Can we talk about what those are?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different products outside of what we would consider Boondockers Welcome really is like our sister product, and you can buy them together. So outside of that, we have Campers Card. Campus Carter was something that we launched last year before travel season. It's a discount program to campgrounds. So it's 1,000+ campgrounds that you can go on to and get discounts. Some discounts can go as high as 50%. That's per night. You can also get some extra perks like free firewood, free Wi-Fi. So it's a great opportunity to save a little money. And if you need that full hookup in between Harvest Host locations, it's a good opportunity. And then Cam Scanner. Cam Scanner is a little unique. It was built also last year as people try to get into national parks, and they were, doing more and more reservations, not only for time entry, but also for, campgrounds. And it can be really hard to get into these national and state parks. So we created this program called Camp Scanner, where you can set up a scan uh, for a park during a certain date. And it will let you know via text when the site is available. Last year when I was doing this, I did this for a Grand Canyon um, campground during Memorial Day, and I did it the week of Memorial Day weekend, and I secured a campground for Memorial Day weekend, which is an impossible weekend to find for national parks. So people book these well in advance, and then something comes up or they decide not to come, so they end up canceling, and this system essentially will let you know when those are canceled. So they're really great for those chances where you're just like, I really want to go to this park this weekend, but it's booked. The timed entry is a new one for us that we added. So if you're going to a park, a lot of them do it during the summer, where they require you, even if you're just going in to visit the campground, to do a timed entry, and those can sell out really quick too. This, you can set up the scan to let you know when something's available, and you'll get a text. So yeah, and then our last product, which is UK based, it's called Brit Stops. This was something that a company we purchased last year as well, and it is essentially Harvest Host, but in the UK. So 1,100 locations in the UK area, and it's pubs, farms, museums, castles. So if anybody's traveling to the UK, it would be a good opportunity to get to know the area and travel via RV or motorhome in that area.
Awesome. And then my last question is, do you add these to your Harvest Host membership, or are they separate, or what does it look like to have these products?
Yeah, they are separate plans. However, it's the same login. So if you were to go to camperscard.com or campscanner.com and purchase, you would log in via your same Harvest Host username, which is your email, and your same Harvest Host password. And then you'll notice if you have a credit card attached to your Harvest Host account, which most do if you're set for renewal, it'll ask you, hey, are you okay for this to be charged? And then it'll charge automatically. So you don't have to re-input your information to join either of these, but they are separate products right now.
Awesome. Cool. I think that's all my questions. I keep saying that, but then I'm like, oh, I got one more. I think that is everything that we could possibly talk about in this allotted amount of time. We could keep diving further and further, and we could look at Highland Cow, sanctuaries, and drive-ins and talk about our favorite places, but we'll need to have another seminar spot for that. So thank you all for joining. Shannon, Carrie, thank you for coming in and talking about the product. It's really great. If anyone has any questions about Harvest Hosts, where should they go? How do they contact us?
Yeah, so harvesthost.com is our website. There is a little chat bubble at the bottom right-hand corner that you can select. You can either live chat if we're available at the time, or send a message to our customer support team. They're very fast in responding. But one of the easiest ways is to type in your question into the little bot, and it will populate an article that probably has your question. So that is the easiest way. We're always running specials. Our 15% off discount is run all the time. However, attendees that watch this seminar will get a special discount that you can see in the description.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for your time, everyone. Thanks you all for joining. I see we have I think we have 150 registrants so far, which is really cool. So yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.